Would you wear all your favorite hats at the same time? Well, we wouldn't either. That is why we suggest you use only what you need. Switch off all electrical appliances and lights in unused rooms. Remember, use only what you need and save power today. Switch and save. Zesco, powering the nation.
Apple Max. Take it to the max.
Want to just get out of town with your friends and family? Are you having a corporate getaway and have no adequate transport? Then this here is what you need to listen to. A brand new 35-seater Yutong luxury bus is now up for hire at an affordable and negotiable rate. It comes fully equipped with aircon, TV for your relaxation, music soothing your trip, and DVD players to give you variety. Book now by calling 0955 0966 or 977 844 141.
What makes the new Yo-Yo Chipsy so unique? 100% natural ingredients. Nothing artificial. Just a pure experience of freshness. Chipsy potato chips. We know you'll love them.
Hey girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Pure Jungle.
This is Prime Television. Thank you so much for joining us on the main news desk with the broadcast. My name is Karlan Muchima. First, a look at the headlines. Southern Province Vote Party Not Tribal charges Chief Mukuni. NAREP advises political leaders to learn from the just-ended presidential by-election. Immigration Department arrests 132 people for immigration offences. In international news, UN chief backs plan for AU forces to tackle Boko Haram. Join me shortly for the news in detail. The Prime TV News in detail. National Restoration Party NAREP has urged political parties to reflect and work on their mistakes and conducts in the just-ended 2015 presidential by-election. NAREP National Secretary Javan Kamanga says the just-ended election brought so much violence, mainly by PF and UPND, adding that it was disheartening to see how people were being hacked. Reverend Kamanga adds that there is need for the leaders of the two political parties as well as other parties to ensure that their cadres refrain from violence during and after future elections. He says violence cannot build the country, but instead destroys every part of development and unity. Reverend Kamanga said this in an interview with Prime Television.
This election obviously has brought out a lot of things that are going to cause this nation to get back to the drawing board on how we approach the issue of tribe. I think for me, we pointed about 5 or 6 problems that we experienced. Number one, the issue of violence. Cadres, intimidating people all over. That issue must be sorted out. Like I said to some media house some time back, during the reign of MMD, Boma Lusambo was a nuisance. And he was given the freedom to do that. But Boma Lusambo this time behaved because of leadership. I believe that Dr. Mumba pumped sense in him and showed him that this country is bigger than a political party. Now the PF and the UPND, who we have highlighted throughout many meetings, they're the 2 political parties that perpetrate violence. They were at it, and they made sure that our streets were actually conned off of innocent people. You know, if you were walking in the streets of Lusaka and you were asked which political party you belong to, without noticing these guys are from UPN, you mentioned PF, they'll beat you up. Those records are there. We saw the hackings. One of our members, our youth chairman for Kanyama, was hacked here. So many stitches were put behind that wound. So violence was one of the many factors that we saw in this election. And of course the issue of corruption. Corruption was rife. I can ask simple questions. How can Zambian afford to have 4 helicopters?
Senior Chief Mukuni of the Tokalea people of Kazungula district has condemned the recent tribal remarks from some sections of our society. The traditional leader says the voting pattern in Zambia depends on how candidates market themselves to the electorates through their campaign messages. Speaking at a press briefing at his palace, Senior Chief Mukuni says there is no tribalism in Zambia and wondered why some people have the mentality of condemning others as tribalists. The traditional leader says what one tells the people during the campaigns would show in the outcome of the results. He says the majority of people in Southern Province, for example, voted for Hakainde Hichilema because the candidate marketed himself very well in the province. Chief Mukuni says Edgar Lungu got the highest votes in Muchinga, Northern and Luapula provinces because he equally marketed himself very well in those areas. The Grand Coalition has called on journalists in the country to be factual in reporting about the Constitution because it is a document that affects every Zambian in the country. Coalition spokesperson McDonald Chipenzi says that during the just-ended elections, most media houses were seen to be biased on the constitution-making process. He says there is need for all media houses to remain neutral in the delivery of information to the people, adding that the media plays an important role in building the nation. Mr. Chipenzi says it is surprising that the media takes extreme sides and overlook ethical issues when handling national matters. He said this in an interview with the Prime Television. A human rights activist has called for the equal distribution of leadership positions and responsibilities between the elderly and the young people in the country. Kavumbu Hagachema says for every country to develop, both the elderly and the young should work together under one common goal. She says that there is no way that only the elderly can continue to be given leadership positions as if the country lack young brains. She has called for the young to be appointed and identified in areas they can govern, adding that as the elderly reach retirement age, they pave way for young people so that the gap in leadership is not felt.
Personally, I wouldn't want to see a situation whereby, elderly people continue to be recycled as if Zambia has got no new brains. We need to strike a balance where both the young and the elderly share power. They move together. As the elderly are preparing their exit, they should be able to groom young ones to take up from where they will end.
The Immigration Department has apprehended a total of 132 persons for immigration-related offences. According to the department's public relations officer, Natin Shika, the suspects were apprehended on Friday 30th, Saturday, and Saturday 31st, January 2015, during an operation conducted in conjunction with other security wings. The operation covered various areas of Kitwe, including Chisokoni Market, where a total of 114 persons were detained for failing to present documents of identity and failure to comply with the conditions set out in their permits. Among the 114 detained include 61 Tanzanians, 36 Congolese, 3 Egyptians, 4 Senegalese, 2 Malians, 1 Somalian, 1 South African, 1 Australian, and 5 persons who had what appear to be fake green national registration cards. The Immigration Department has since warned of a stern action against those that have become complacent with the law. We go for a break. Join me shortly for more local news after this.
Would you wear all your favorite hats at the same time? Well, we wouldn't either. That is why we suggest you use only what you need. Switch off all electrical appliances and lights in unused rooms. Remember, use only what you need and save power today. Switch and save. Zesco, powering the nation.
What's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Potato sticks, freaky fries. Get that awesome crunch.
Thank you so much for joining us. Change Life Zambia has welcomed the election of Edgar Lungu as a president, but has challenged him to fulfill his campaign promises. Change Life Zambia board chairman John Chilima says President Lungu assured people that poverty will be reduced as well as milling prices once elected as president, hence challenging him to fulfill those promises. Mr. Chilima says the president pledged to set up milling plants in all provincial centers and to release a people-driven constitution. He adds that he is aware of a suspicion of election rigging by opposition political parties, but his organization contains this claim because all political parties had their own monitors. Mr. Chilima said this in a joint statement with Laston Chama issued to Prime TV in Lusaka. He has appealed to the public to give Mr. Lungu a chance to work on his promises, saying the public only needs to provide checks and balances. Bambopo Entertainment Group of Bauleni Compound has appealed to their area councillor Mlengasata to intervene in a matter in which the group is being stopped to use the Bauleni Community Hall for performances. Group Director Timothy Banda says his group is being prevented to use the community hall by a caretaker only identified as Mr. Nyambe when they pay 150 kwacha each month to use the community hall. Mr. Banda says as a group they don't understand why they should be made to stop performing in the hall when it is a community hall. that belongs to the people. He said this when him and other group members stormed Prime TV to register their grievances over the issue. Mr. Banda has appealed to Mr. Sata to come to their aid and ensure that they are given the right to use the community hall in Bauleni.
Tipezeka panopeza kuti vafuna vatipishepo vakamba kuti vanabwera che without any notice ukamba njere mufunika muzamba kupeza wache pa Saturday and then pa Sunday va church vazamba ungenamo so ngapena simza kwanisa pa Saturday mchokemo erefe ndama timalipira ama tichaja 150 community ho mai ife ngati ijasi community ho dipembako wa kansela watu wa mulenga sata vatimangireko community ho kapena ijasi amene yauti ni ama church chifukwa ife stifuna kuti yambe kuba kuti yambo twika machiteni ma blanket yawe ne mkomboni that's what is pasa vochita kuti tizingako na vochita kuti kuti cheo tizizunguka tikaziba tizipase ko vochita na ife tizingako na tundalama mwaona so ife chikuru chetu pemba kuli wa mulenga sata kuti vatitandize ko ife kapena ija si community ho vatimangire ko community ho so tizipeze kamo ife.
The UPND in Lusaka has encouraged its members to get over the presidential loss and start focusing on the 2016 tripartite general elections. UPND Lusaka Province Information and Publicity Secretary Gilbert Lisoniso says that the party must quickly reorganize itself ahead of the 2016 general elections. Addressing party officials in George Compound Sunday afternoon, Mr. Lisoniso said the UPND has great chances of winning the 2016 general elections. He said the party's performance in the last election shows that Zambians from all parts of the country have accepted the UPND, adding that come 2016, the party will be forming the next government. And Mr. Liswaniso has advised the Zambians to ignore politicians championing for tribal politics in Zambia. He said the UPND is not and will not support cheap politicians bent on dividing the country through their tribal remarks. We'll go for another break. Join me shortly for international news.
Apple Max. Take it to the max.
What makes the new Yo-Yo Chipsy so unique? 100% natural ingredients. Nothing artificial. Just a pure experience of freshness. Chipsy potato chips. We know you'll love them.
We now shift our attention to international news. The UN chief Ban Ki-moon has backed an African Union AU proposal to send a regional force to fight Boko Haram in Nigeria as warplanes from Chad carried out airstrikes against the armed group. Support for the initiative announced on Saturday at an AU summit held in Ethiopia's capital Addis Ababa came amid an upsurge in fighting with the group that has also drawn in Nigeria's neighbors. The Chadian military said 3 of its soldiers and 123 rebels had been killed in 2 days of fighting in northern Cameroon. Speaking at the AU summit, Ban said Boko Haram needed to be addressed with a regional and international cooperation. Troops in the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, are preparing to launch an offensive against the rebel fighters in the country's east with a possibly limited logistical support from the UN. The operation against the Democratic Forces for the Liberation of Luanda was originally meant to be a joint effort between the UN and the Congolese army, but that was no longer the case. A UN security brigade was expected to be involved directly in the mission against the rebel fighters, but the Congolese army won support from the UN's helicopter gunships. And that foreign item brings us to the end of our main news. But before we go, a look at the headlines once more. Southern Province vote party not tribal charges Chief Mukuni. NAREP advises political leaders to learn from the just ended presidential by-election. Immigration Department arrests 132 people for immigration offences. And in international news, UN chief backs plan for AU forces to tackle Boko Haram. That's the end of the news on Prime Television. Thank you so much for your company. God bless you. For now, it's God bless and bye-bye.
Hey girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Potato sticks, freaky fries. Get that awesome crunch.
Would you wear all your favorite hats at the same time? Well, we wouldn't either. That is why we suggest you use only what you need. Switch off all electrical appliances and lights in unused rooms. Remember, use only what you need and save power today. Switch and save. ZESCO, powering the nation.